Hi, my name is Liz and I am the author and designer of the journal, The Wizardliz Guide to Inner Healing. This is a journal I started creating 6 months ago, and this is a journal that is very, very close to my heart. As maybe many of you know, I am a person that is dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder, and I started my healing journey for my traumas about 6 months ago. Now, when I started the journey, what I initially thought was that, you know, I just have to do therapy and that's it, and I'll get fixed. But that was not the case. And to be honest, I did not even know that I was traumatized. I just thought that whatever, it doesn't matter. Because when you are living in a situation where daily abuse is happening, where you're being mentally and physically abused daily, you're not thinking, ooh, I'm traumatized. The only thing you are thinking is, I have to survive the day and I have to make sure I get through this day. It really hit me when my abuser left the house. I was, I think, 19 or 18 years old when the person left, and then I really realized that, oh wow, something is really wrong with me, because the way that I would deal with my friendships, the way that I would deal in relationships, it was not normal at all, and I could see that there is a serious problem. Now, then when I really even moved countries and got out of the whole house and everything, I could clearly look at it and be like, wow, I literally went through so much stuff that I did not deserve. And I'm just, even till today, I'm just like, wow, Liz, you're so strong. And I really, really am. I just never realized how I was in such survival mode. Let me tell you guys why this is something that's very close to my heart. So like I said, I have dealt with extreme childhood abuse and in my teenage years as well. And I am not talking about a spank here or spank there. No, I'm talking about like several times I've come very close to not being alive anymore. There was, you know why this is so hard for me to talk about, because first of all, I'm a very private person and I do not like it when people perceive me as weak, and me talking about very traumatic events makes me feel weak. I don't want pity. I don't want people to be like, oh Liz, I'm so sorry for you. I don't want that. I want people to look at me and be like, wow, you know, like, you're strong, you really survived something. But I think because I have this platform, and I talked with my mom about this, and my mom was like, Liz, your whole platform, the reason that you created this platform was to be a voice for the voiceless. And so all these people that DM you about their abusive households, that don't know how to get out and all these things, and you want to keep quiet when they don't have a voice, and you do, you have a platform, you can share your story and you can become, you know, like a sort of strength for them. But I think that's all easier said than done, because me sitting right here, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to tell you guys anything, because this is so, I don't know. You know, like, I've always wondered, like, how can a person be so cruel to a child? I don't get it. Like, why? I've always wondered that. And 6 months ago, I was very angry and upset because I kept having nightmares about one of, like, I have specific things because my childhood is very black for me. I don't remember anything from my childhood anymore. I remember that I would get beaten daily. I would get yelled at. I was always terrified to come home. I remember having my school forcing psychiatrists on me. Every week there would be a psychiatrist coming because obviously they saw the bruises. I would not talk because if there's anything that I was more ashamed of, or then it was talking about what happened to me, because I was embarrassed. And I just thought I need to keep this secret because my abuser told me that otherwise he would take my life, and that was yeah, that was also, you know. And I wondered so long, like I was so angry at first because I was like, how could you do that to a child? And how could you, like, you know, like, guys, I'm talking like I have stitches on the back of my head and stuff from yeah, from severe injuries to my head. I always wondered, like, how far does it have to go before somebody notices, like a doctor, or my school knew, but I would not tell anything, so they couldn't really do anything. But you know, when the ambulance took me, how many times before they realized that I did not, like, run into a door? How many times before they realized there's something wrong? But I think when you are not talking about it, when you are not communicating what's happening, they can't really do anything. Because even if somebody intervened, I would much rather live in a household like that than go into foster care, because that's all I knew. I literally, the abuse was familiar to me, and that's all I knew. Yeah. Also, like, it was always like really unprovoked. If I could tell you, like, the devil in human form, this person was the devil in human form. And it was not only me that got abused, like everyone that I loved got abused. And I think you as a child seeing that injustice happening to your family, but you feeling so powerless because you cannot do anything to help them, that really hurts your soul. And then when I got older, I became this whole control freak. Like, I needed to control everyone around me and every single thing, because in my childhood I had no control at all. I remember, like, even in my teenage years, like, come on, like, I would go to work, right? And I would come home from work, and this person would beat me up because I stayed an hour later at work. But obviously I needed the job because I needed the money. And then my employers would get mad at me when I wanted to leave earlier, because they were like, you don't want to work. No, I wanted to work, but I was scared to death to go home because there's somebody literally waiting to beat me up because I was an hour later. And just when I was younger, I saw injustice happening to my mom. I would constantly defend my mom against this person. And my mom told me this is where the hate started, from this person towards me, because I would defend my mom. But I just, you know, I've had this urge to protect my mom because I love my mom so much, and she has been through the worst, and I don't think she deserved any of that. And me as a child seeing that really hurt me. I remember every time she would leave the house, she would leave, then I would leave with her. I would just sit on a bench somewhere outside with her, just next to her, so make sure she's okay. If I'm telling you that I saw horrific things that not only happened to my loved ones, but horrific things that happened to me, like, I'm not exaggerating at all. I just I can't talk about it. I really am trying and I can't. I started my healing journey 6 months ago, and I found this love in journaling. I found this love in writing down my emotions, because I could really feel that in that way I can connect to my inner self, to my inner child, to really understand what I'm feeling. And to be honest, this helped more than therapy and anything. But I would go to bookstores, I would go to shops, and I would look for that journal that had questions about your inner child, that had questions where you could really connect to yourself, and I could not find that journal. So I decided 6 months ago, you know what, I am gonna create that journal. I'm gonna make sure that I put the questions where people can really connect to what happened to their childhood, what they were like as a child, who the person was that hurt them. And I really formulated these questions so well that I 100% think that if anyone is dealing with childhood trauma, with even abuse till this day, I honestly, truly think that the journal can really help, because I even wrote to myself in this journal and it really brought up some emotions, but I felt so much lighter after writing it down. It has inner child affirmations. It has different practices you can do to connect to your inner child. And it has beautiful questions. So yeah, my journal is available on Amazon. I will link the journal in bio. I have this one question in my journal that says, if you could say anything to the person that hurt you the most, what would you say? And when I was writing in the journal, I wrote it all down, and I am going to read that to you guys. So the question is, if you could tell the person who hurt you the most everything you wanted to say, what would you say? I wonder if you care. I wonder if you know what you did and how much it affected me. 6 months ago, when I was creating this journal, I was thinking about all the things I would write down. I would tell you exactly where you traumatized me the most. Things from the young age of 3 till 18 that I remember vividly. Things that I've never expected to haunt me and have nightmares about in my early 20s. And no, it never just goes away. I could not pray it away. No amount of therapy made it go away. And every time I tried to ignore it, it would show up in my relationships, friendships, and the way I treated myself. I learned that I have to accept it, but not be a victim of my circumstances. 6 months ago is also when I started my healing journey. And today I can proudly say that I genuinely don't care about you. All the years of daily physical and emotional abuse, and I can proudly say you did not break me. 6 months ago, I wanted to expose every cruel and inhumane thing you did to me. But today, I realize it's not my place to expose your sins. And if I'm being really honest, I pity you. You had the same childhood as me, filled with immense abuse. You never got to experience what love is. But see, that's not an excuse. Because of you, I never got to experience what love is. Yet here I am, acknowledging my flaws, reading the books, going to therapy, and journaling. Isn't it ironic? That I grew up to become the person that I think you need the most. I remember from an early age trying to understand why I was not lovable or even worthy of being treated as a human being. But I also understood from an early age that I would never get the answers to those questions. And I'm okay with that now. I really tried to understand you, but everyone has a breaking point. I'm sorry your parents didn't love you, but I didn't do that to you. I'm sorry you went through the exact same mental and physical abuse you put me through, but I didn't do that to you. I'm sorry you grew up to be a cruel person, filled with hate in your heart, but I didn't do that to you. When a parent fails to love a child, the child does not stop loving the parent. The child stops loving itself. After years of hating my face, hating my body, thinking I'm not smart, I should be more serious and nobody will ever love me because you told me so, I can confirm that that statement is true. If there was any self-love or confidence I was born with, you definitely took that from me. I had to completely learn how to be confident, how to deal with my anxiety and depression, how to love myself, and how to function in society. I had to reparent myself. But one thing you did not and will not take from me is my strength. And no, I am not strong because of what you did to me. I am strong despite of what you did to me. All the love I was supposed to be given, I give myself today. And I created a platform where I inspire others to do the same. You will find it shocking to see how many people do think that I am worthy, lovable, and smart. I get daily messages from strangers filled with immense love and gratitude. It wasn't that hard, was it? One thing I am grateful for is you showed me exactly what not to do. I will continue to do the work and fix every part in me that you tried to break. And one day, when I am ready and decide to have a child, I will make sure that my child knows what pure love is. That physical violence is not needed to get my point across, and that it's okay to communicate instead of yell, hit, or even worse. This cycle ends with me. All the things you took from me, I will give my children and myself twice as much. I'm not angry, nor am I sad. I have no feelings towards you. My main focus is giving myself all the love I know I deserve. And you? I will let God deal with you. But I promise you one thing. This face that you would abuse daily until it was black and blue, this face that you could not stand to look at, I will make sure that you see this face on every screen you look at. I promise you that. Mark this day as the day I took my power back. Guys, thank you so much for being so patient with me. I promise to upload more regularly right now because honestly, I feel indifferent completely. I don't care about this person anymore. And really, honestly, journaling really helped me. This honestly, truly did help me to write my feelings down, to just get everything off my chest that I cannot say out loud. I can just write it down. So yeah, just thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for understanding me, and thank you for the immense love I get from you guys. I feel heard, I feel valued, and for that only, I can't thank you guys enough, because I feel like you guys gave me my life back. So thank you so much. I will continue to make each and every one of you proud. I just hope that we can heal together. I hope that we can grow together. And I think that if we do the work, we'll all get there. Thank you so much. I love you guys.